In May 2002, one song shook the entire music industry to its core. It wasn't just another rap track, it was Eminem's declaration of war against his critics, his comeback anthem, and his middle finger to everyone who thought he was finished. But how did the lyrics to "Without Me" actually come together? The story behind these words is more explosive than you might imagine. To understand how "Without Me" was born, we need to rewind to 2001. Eminem had just released the Marshall Mathers LP and was drowning in controversy. Parents were protesting, politicians were condemning him, and the media was calling him everything from a homophobe to a misogynist. But here's what most people don't know. Marshall Mathers was exhausted. The constant battles were wearing him down. His personal life was falling apart, his relationship with Kim was toxic, and he was struggling with prescription drug addiction. Dr. Dre and his team knew they needed something different for the next album. Not just another angry track, but something that would remind the world why Eminem was untouchable. They needed him to reclaim his throne. The magic happened at Encore Studios in Burbank, California in late 2001. Jeff Bass, one of Eminem's longtime collaborators, was experimenting with a sample that would become the backbone of the track. But Marshall wasn't feeling it initially. According to Jeff Bass himself, the breakthrough came when Marshall started freestyling over the beat. He wasn't trying to write a hit, he was just venting. The first lines that came out were pure stream of consciousness, addressing his critics directly. But then something clicked. Marshall realized this was not just another response track. This was his opportunity to flip the script entirely. Instead of being defensive, he would be offensive. Instead of apologizing, he would double down. The genius of the lyrics lies in their structure. The song opens with a mock emergency broadcast, immediately establishing the theatrical, almost comic book-like tone that would define the entire track. What most listeners miss is that "Without Me" isn't just braggadocio, it's a masterclass in psychological warfare. Every line was carefully crafted to serve multiple purposes. First, Marshall positioned himself as both the villain and the victim. He acknowledged that he was controversial, but argued that controversy was exactly what the music industry needed. Without him, music would be boring. The references throughout the song weren't random. When he mentioned specific people and situations, each reference served a strategic purpose. He was settling scores while simultaneously proving his relevance. But perhaps the most brilliant aspect of the lyrics is how Marshall addressed his own mortality in the industry. He wasn't just saying he was back, he was saying that hip-hop itself would die without him. The wordplay throughout the track showcases why Marshall is considered one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Multiple meanings in single lines, internal rhymes that most rappers can't even attempt, and a flow that switches styles multiple times within the same verse. When "Without Me" dropped as the lead single from The Eminem Show, it did exactly what Marshall intended. It dominated everything. The song shot to #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reminded everyone why Eminem was untouchable. But the lyrics also reignited old controversies and created new ones. Critics accused him of being narcissistic, of glorifying his own problematic behavior. Parents groups renewed their attacks. Marshall's response? He didn't care. The song's success proved his point. People needed him to be exactly who he was, controversy and all. The music video, directed by Joseph Kahn, brought the lyrics to life with superhero imagery that perfectly matched the song's theme of Marshall as both savior and destroyer of hip-hop. 20+ years later, "Without Me" remains one of Eminem's most important songs, not just because of its commercial success, but because of what the lyrics represented. An artist refusing to be silenced, refusing to change, and proving that authenticity, even uncomfortable authenticity, will always win. The song's lyrics didn't just mark Eminem's return, They established a blueprint for how artists could address their critics while maintaining their artistic integrity. So the next time you hear those opening lines, remember, you're not just listening to a comeback song. You're hearing the moment when one of hip-hop's greatest lyricists, "What's your favorite line from Without Me?" Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the music that shaped our world.